Welcome to the Dubbcast. How's everybody feeling there? Big love and unity from the Dubb. Hope you're feeling good. We're here to raise the vibrations. It's February 4th already, 2021. How's everybody feeling out there? Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. We got a special show tonight. Yes. Let me type it out here. All right. So you can check us out on the YouTube channel right now. If you go to YouTube, SELAH Dubb, you might be able to check it out. This is the Dubbcast. SELAH Dubb shouting out to you from the Outer Night Studios here in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. You're tuned into the SELAH Dubb channel here on YouTube. Hope everybody's feeling good tonight. Big love and unity from the Dubb. Yes. The SELAH Dubbcast is brought to you by Carl Heverly Surfboards. Check them out at carlheverly.com. Everything from 10-foot nose riders to pocket thrusters. Handmade at carlheverlysurf.com. Check them out. That's all I ride. All right. Big thanks to all the good friends for tuning in and keeping us going here with the Dubbcast and the Acousticast. We'll be doing a little Acousticast in the second segment. Haven't repeated a song yet. And then this weekend, we got the special Bob Marley tribute Acousticast. I'll be playing for an hour straight, all the Bob Marley. So, hope everybody's feeling good tonight. SELAH Dubb shouting out to you. We're here to raise the vibrations. I'm SELAH. I got a little band called SELAH Dubb. Check out our videos here on the SELAH Dubb channel. Come say hi to us on Facebook, Instagram. Check out our music on Spotify and all the streaming sites, iTunes. Yes, One love and unity from the Dubb. How is everybody feeling tonight? We got a special show for you tonight. We got a veteran on the line getting ready to join up with Brother Pops. And tonight is a beautiful night here at the beach. We've had sunny skies all day. The surf is flat as can be, so we've gotten a lot of work done today. We had a big swell this week, and my body is feeling it. Got slammed and bammed all over the place in the icy cold waters. And let me tell you something, it don't feel good when you get thonked by the board and your fingers and toes are freezing. So it's been a fun time, but I'm ready for spring. We're not far away. Valentine's Day is around the corner, and springtime is just about here. So we are stoked, and we got some shows already booked into August and September. We'll see what goes on with the crazy virus. If it stays or if it mellows out, we'll book accordingly. But right now, we're just chilling out, making our videos, podcasts, and our vlogs. I want to thank you guys for tuning in so much. And I want to thank Facebook for banning me and banning all my friends, because you know what? I'm here on YouTube and I've gotten on some other websites and I'm spreading the vibe there. So I had a little circle on Facebook that's so close, thousands of friends, but you know what? We're all the same age. We're all from the same neighborhood, and they've heard me a million times and they've had enough. So I'm here on YouTube shouting out to you, and we've been raising a nice little gang of friends, and the whole tribe's joining together. So I want you guys to like and subscribe. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, and please make sure you keep in touch with us, because we will be doing the Dubbcast weekly and the Acousticast. And tonight we got a special guest. So big love and unity from the Dubb. Big shouts out to Miss Baby Beats. We've been checking in with her, and we're getting ready to do the Acousticast live. We're going to be bringing her in the studio. And big shouts to Brother Michael Akins, who's had a little birthday this last week, and he's been putting out a lot of good music. So check out Michael Akins' site. He is rocking it hard. And Sweet Lovin' Kirby's still doing the art. So check out Kirby's art at kirby.com, and you can see more information for SELAH Dubb here at the SELAH Dubb channel. And now let's get on with the show. What do you say, y'all? On with the show. All right. Today we got a special guest on the Dubbcast. Original blues veteran and SELAH Dubb drummer from the day. He will always be a member of SELAH Dubb. I spent many years on the road with him, and he grew up in the big city, the Big Apple, and he knows the original history of the hardcore life in the Bronx, life in Manhattan in the 70s and the 80s when times were wild. So we're going to hear some stories from Ja Pops here. So here we go. Brother Ja Pops, how we doing, my friend?
I'm good. Sometimes you come in perfect, and other times it's breaking up. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you clear as a bell.
You're clear right now, too.
Okay, good.
How are you?
I think when I had the music on, it wasn't as clear, but we're figuring it out here because I am self-produced. But I'm doing great, man. How are you down there? You're down in Florida, so how's the weather?
Boy, it's freezing, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, we have a cold front. The last 2 nights, it went into the 30s.
Lord.
And I have some plants in my shed. But, they're under the light, so I figured it's probably warm enough so I didn't have to bring them in. But I was just thinking, I was out the other day on my longboard down here. I'm fucking with you. I'm really kidding. I heard you talking about. I remember the time I went out on your board. I took one of those things. I thought my arms were gonna fall off. Oh, that was fucking 10 years ago.
And then you're always hitting me up with the surf jokes.
Yeah, I know. Once I figure out how to Photoshop, I'm gonna put myself on one of those guys. I'm gonna put my little head on there.
It's 10 foot in St. Pete.
Like on a good video of some guy shredding,
You are hilarious. So 30 degrees. I mean, you're from up here in the mountains in New York, so you're not joking when you say it's cold. You're not just a Floridian saying it's cold.
Well, I had the whole heart thing. I have the stents.
I know.
I have to stay on these blood thinners basically for the rest of my life.
Oh.
And so, they're blood thinners. So the cold weather really gets to me now.
Oh, your blood thickens up in the cold, huh?
Oh, man.
Things
when I was I had my first surgery was 2015. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Plus, I just don't like it. I mean, I just could never do that anymore. When it gets like it is now down here, I'm like, okay, how long is this shit gonna last?
Yeah, we were living
because it's always beautiful down here. Bro, the weather here it's just heaven. I'm in heaven here.
Are you?
In heaven. I don't even give a shit about the lockdown. I swear. Other than I couldn't play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't even rehearse or anything for a while.
Yeah.
So that really sucked because, a year in, year out, you're so used to your routine and, losing the money. But, I'm legit with my band. So I got unemployment. So it hasn't, been financially any hardship on me. And now we're playing again. We're doing some shows. I did a couple, but I lost my whole year. You did, I mean, I'm the same like you. I'm booked 3, 4, 5 months in advance.
Well, I started out.
Lost everything.
I started out during the whole hustle and bustle, and I thought, I'll just do a few shows here and there. And by the time July 4th came around, we did a big July 4th, and then 3 days later, we all had it. The whole neighborhood had it because just like all the tourists were coming here from out of town. And so, we had 1 million. I had 1 million people on the beach, even though everything else was, the lockdown was here for a while, but then they let the beach open up and we had people come from all over the world. And so everyone on the beach got it right away. And then I was like, my mom's still going. She's 86. So I was just like, I gotta.
That is so.
It was no problem.
Awesome.
It was
How
no
about
problem
that?
and it was no problem for us to get it because we were strong. We kicked it, even though
You were with her recently. I saw you had some pictures not long ago. I don't know what holiday it was, and I was like, "Oh, that's wonderful that you that she's doing well and that you spent the time with her." But
yeah.
that's fantastic. That's good news.
Well, I had to have another one of those crazy surgeries, so on my skin cancer. So this whole fall, the whole fall I was doing that. So it was good to get back with Mom and be there. I was very thankful and grateful to be able to go back.
You've had some rough shit for a couple of years now. 3 years.
I'm good now. I'm kicking it. I'm ready to go. That was just
like
that was my test. I had an industrial accident, but that's enough about me. I'm just glad you're surviving and you made it through all that crazy surgery and stuff, and you're still jamming. That's important to me because
it's it's unbelievable. And now it's at a point where it's vital for me for just exercise and to be able to play. It's just before my surgeries going into 2015, I was busy like when I was with you.
I know.
I was playing three or four times a week. Me and the senator, the guy from the Road Dutch band that I knew from 40 years ago. He lives in the neighborhood. I hooked up with him. He was with me 4 years, but we were doing over 200 shows a year.
Man.
We're close to it, 180 to 200.
That's wild. It
was unbelievable.
You took that stuff from when you were with us, and I was tripping because you went straight down there and started doing a lot of people.
And now I just run the band. Now I run the band. I ran a duo that sounded like a 3 or 4 piece. I use different technology to deliver my backing tracks because I'm a drummer.
So what did you use? What did you use for that?
Dude, here's what I had. Here's what my setup was. I was still on the roll when I was still on the electronic set because they were perfect. I had a phenomenal guitar player with me, Southern rock guy, but he could play everything. And so I had my tracks. Almost everything I looped, but I used an RC30 loop pedal.
Okay.
So I could intro a song with a drum intro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kick the pedal on like in perfect timing. And I can outro in perfect timing. So I got so fucking good at that. And then I have a vocal processor that's next to my hi-hat. I still use the vocal processor. And I can kick that on and off with my heel so I can give myself a 3-part chorus with my voice. So I just got really good with that shit. But now for the last 3 or 4 years I don't run the tracks anymore. I just play with a 3-piece, 4-piece, or 5-piece, sometimes 7-piece on certain events, with the whole band. So I'm just loving. Now it would be hard for me to go back because I have conquered being able to have multiple lineups and handle my schedule.
Yeah.
At first it was stressful. I was like, okay. I had a good 3-piece, and then one guy couldn't play, so I had to get someone new, and then I had to get one. So you wound up having to use other people, and then I kind of got used to it, and I got good at teaching them songs and how to make it work where they were comfortable right away with me. Unlike you, with minimal rehearsal. As long as I knew they could play well, I said, listen, as long as you can play leads, I'll call you out on the leads.
You know what? You started.
Just don't worry about it. Because I'm playing a lot of blues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of jam stuff and blues stuff. So, then I became like a master at it. So now I've got literally 8 or 9 guys that have come through the family, the Bronx Mafia band, and they always want to play with me. And most of them have other projects, have their own band and everything. So for me, it's been awesome because I literally have a fucking posse of awesome people that I'm comfortable playing with. So I have a brand new lineup this year. 2021 is I took 2020's bass player. He became a lead guitar player. He's phenomenal. I got a new bass player, and then Marty, who's been with me for 5 years on saxophone, harmonica, drums, and flute. He plays like 5 different things, and he moves around. And we added the timbales this year.
How cool.
So we're excited, man.
You know, it just takes some time. If you just keep grinding it out, you keep grinding it out, and then it starts coming to you. And next thing you know, you get this little groove going.
That's what's starting to happen. That's what's happening. What's happening for me right now.
You don't get that gift right away.
Talk to you about that.
But you having that faith. Yeah, you have that faith. So.
No, I remember us when I was with you, bro. When I was with you, we fucking pounded the pavement forever.
Oh yeah.
To fucking finally get some breaks and get some big shows and some support. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't believe we drove
going. You know, so that.
Go ahead.
You can't believe what?
I can't believe we drove off that mountain like that and drove all over the country like that.
Oh, that was fucking insane.
That was so sketchy.
First of all, we came from Knoxville, Tennessee. Wasn't that when we came in from Knoxville?
I'm just saying all those years of coming down off the mountain from Boone, like out of my neighborhood and all over, just driving out of
the night we crashed.
Then we ended up crashing.
Wait a second.
Those are the most dangerous roads I've driven all over the country. Those are the most dangerous roads. And so, you know, they're
dude. You tore the whole rear end out of the van.
I know. We rode around the edge, fishtailed for 100 yards, and went down the mountain.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't. I said it to you. I didn't want to wake you guys up because I thought I might make it out of the fishtail.
Yeah.
And then I came around the corner. I knew I was going off the cliff, and I said to you guys, "We're gonna crash. Wake up, everybody!"
I'm pretty sure. Now I can't. Now I don't remember. Remember the ice storm?
Yeah, the road was cut. There was 2 inches or 3 inches of snow that had just filled the road, plus the ice.
Those 2 nights, bro. Those 2 nights are fucking burnt into my memory, like they were last year.
I was such a mountain man. I mean, you know, I was like a mountain climbing, mountain fool. So I was not in any way intimidated by the mountains. And I haven't been there like much in the last 10 years. So now I look at it all. I go back there. I'm like, everything's so steep and everything's so crazy. I was just like so in the mountains for like, 30 years. So I was just crazy back. We'd be in the middle. That was the middle of the night all the time, driving back from Asheville, driving back from Knoxville, driving back from the beach. So, yeah. But, I just can remember playing with you.
We did a lot. We logged a lot of miles, bro. Are you kidding?
Yeah, and you had set up this little special kit, and we just had gotten so good at this electronic thing we were doing, and I had the greatest time. We had the greatest time then. It was wild times.
That was awesome. Yeah. Good times. Well, and I learned so much from that. Now it's the funny thing is, like everyone who plays for me are phenomenal musicians, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just a roots player, drums and harmonica, and vocally, I have my limitations, so I know my limitations, but what I do is I highlight everyone that's in the band, which makes them always want to play with me.
Oh, you don't want your drummer to know too many things. You want your drummer to be right up in the pocket. It's all about you being in the pocket.
Well, my guy Marty, who's been with me, he's a little bit of he's a showboat. He's a showboat, but
I've seen him. Yeah.
I also get to use him. Yeah, he overplays a little too much. So I'm like periodically. What's terrible is anytime I'll have a decent video going, and then all of a sudden I'm turning around and I'm like yelling at him. I'm reminding myself of you yelling at me.
Yeah.
When you didn't even yell, bro. You wouldn't yell. You would just turn around and give me that look, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Anyway, he's such a good utility guy because he plays saxophone and he's phenomenal on harmonica. And he's a great drummer, but he's a rock drummer. And so now we're making him play a little bit of reggae. And I go, Marty, just it's simple, just play a one drop, And he doesn't know. Meanwhile, he played with another band for years, and they still every year get this gig in Jamaica at the nudist place. I forget what it's called. What's the nudist
hedonism.
resort in Jamaica?
Hedonism.
In the grill.
Hedonism.
Yeah, he plays there every fucking year, so they get the whole fucking thing comped. I don't think they have to fly there, but the rest is comped.
That's hilarious.
I said, how the fuck can you not play any reggae beats? You're a fucking drummer, and you literally go to Jamaica every fucking year.
They got enough of that down there.
And turns out, so listen to this. I'll give you a great story, music related too. So that's Marty Lindemann, and he's such a wonderful friend and a great bandmate. And he's been with me, I think, going on 6 years. And he's multi-talented, but he's a little fucking crazy on stage as well. But it's more like childlike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you because you might relate to it. He's like he does the same shit that I yell about or that I'll tell him, nicely, but you shouldn't do that here. Just, you know what I mean? Trying to appeal to him, but he's like a child when he's on stage. So he's got that unbelievable energy. He's had 2 fucking heart attacks playing with me.
Oh my God.
On stage.
Nuh-uh.
I shit you not. We had the first one like 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And then the second one last year.
Here we go again. Oh my
I
gosh.
swear to you. Well, the one he had last year was because he had a stent put in like I had. And he took himself off the blood thinners. I said, you can't do that. He goes, oh, no, the doctor said only a year. I said, no, Marty, you got to stay on that shit forever. He goes, no, my doc said a year. I said, you better double check. So he stopped taking them.
And then he double checked.
And he gave himself another heart attack.
Yeah, he double checked
the fucking stent up.
Oh, God.
And gave himself a second heart attack.
That's the problem.
So,
that's the problem with creative.
So he's really wonderful. And I'm really so lucky because all of these guys that I get to play with now are my best friends. And, my TJ, my brother died. My mother died.
I'm so sorry.
Ago. My wife died a few years before that. So, it's dwindling down and I'm getting older. So, it's my direct family now is these guys that are, and they're from all over the country, but, half of them are from New York, of course. And just by luck or by coincidence, but
we got to get you guys up here.
I'm having a good.
We got to get you guys up here. We got some good.
Well, I
There's a lot of people.
What's her name? What is it called? Grayscale Entertainment. She had sent me a thing. She's in Asheville now, and she says, "Do you want to do a couple of runs with us?"
Oh, Tammy, yeah.
No, not Tammy. Deborah.
I'm sorry. Tammy was the other.
Deborah.
Grayscale, yeah. No, Deborah, yeah.
So I said, yeah, Grayscale, right. So I said, yeah, sure. So she said, well, this is what we were looking at doing, but it included Asheville where she lives now, Asheville, and that was a drive-in theater.
Yeah, that's a good gig.
Type of gig. It was one of those. So it was just like an hour set.
Mm-hmm.
And her band, her house band, which is her husband's, and he's a great guitar. He's really good. And then Wilmington, and then Hilton Head, and then she had another one that she wanted me to do, which would be Miami and the Keys, and that would be with my band. So I was like, great. She says, well, we don't know when we're going to be able to book it. So hopefully, towards the end of the year, that'll happen. And if it does, I'll know plenty of in advance timing, and you can get to, I get to see you.
Yeah, I hope so. I really want to get down there. I really want to get back on the road again. But right now, I decided this is the first time I've ever taken so much time off, and probably, since 2007 or something. So this has been
me too.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm the fucking same. Since after playing with you, that was the longest layover.
yeah,
And I just started playing in the. We started freelancing with crawdaddy, and work, playing with the Lady J band in New York City, and then we started the Pappa crawdaddy band up there, up in Boone. But we did our first good show was in Kenny's Castaways in Bleecker Street, Manhattan, in the Village,
yeah.
which was awesome.
Now
Yeah,
you're from New
yeah,
York.
so-
You're from New York, and you grew up in the Bronx.
Yeah,
Right. What years were you in the
yeah,
Bronx? You were in the Bronx when it was burning.
yeah. Well,
What?
I was born in so I was born in '56. So I lived in the Bronx until about 1970.
God.
So the Bronx went from being like a lot of really decent neighborhoods to a lot of really bad neighborhoods. So the
Yeah.
Bronx turned. Yeah, the Bronx turned. So we moved to Queens,
I've been seeing some
and
things about it.
Queens was more of a suburban, more chill. But then I started uh, uh, getting involved with music in the late '70s. That was in New York City and Manhattan
So
and the Lower
Queen,
East Side in particular, which was where the whole punk scene was happening.
right. So did you go by CBGBs and all that stuff? Did you ever check in there?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody, I knew everybody from all of those places. They all came to my club. Our place opened at 4 a.m., closed at noon. It was called the Nursery. It was 3 stories. It was a
Crazy.
storefront with a huge bar and a huge dance floor on the downstairs with some arcade games, which was a big thing. Asteroids had just come out in Pac-Man, so that was like a big attraction of the place. And then there was a second floor with a couple of pool tables and a little lounge and a bar up there. And then there was a third floor, which was a VIP lounge with a big screen projector thing, and we would show videos up there of the same movies that were contemporary, that were in the theaters at that time, because the people that ran that were gangsters. You know what I mean?
I know.
Because
That's where my dad lived. My dad was from there.
I mean, it was a mafia. That's who I worked for. So I worked there, and that gave me carte blanche for everywhere in the city. But it also gave me carte with all these phenomenal musicians, as I'm like, learning and still playing every fucking day for 4 or 5 hours, trying to get better, you know what I mean? Back then, So it was quite an experience, but I had carte blanche for every club, and I knew everybody because everybody went there when the clubs closed at 4. That's where you went. That was like the Studio 54
Yeah.
for alt rock, for punk. So we had like all the touring bands that would come through. Anyone who played at CBGB's, everybody who worked in the place was in a band. David Johansen from the New York Dolls used to work in the same club with me. So
Crazy.
a lot of really talented people that I got to meet. And then, back then, a lot of drugs and alcohol. We would close at noon, and we were like, okay, and now next thing I'm in, Electric Ladyland Studio.
Wow. Crazy
Sniffing
world.
coke,
When I first met
and drinking whiskey,
the first day I met
King
you,
Creole and the coconuts was there.
the first day I met you, you were telling me some stories like this. And
Yeah.
really the first maybe the first week when you before I don't think you even played drums yet, but I met you one day. I can't remember how this was, but you told me these stories, and I'm such a music historian, and CBGB's and that whole scene for me is like, like a different world, but like history to it's like history books. It's like almost like, thinking this the White House where George Washington hung out. That's where, the Ramones and Talking Heads and all that. And so you were talking about all this stuff but you were also talking about this area.
The Ramones lived up in the Bronx.
Yeah, and you were talking about all that stuff, and you were also
they lived in my old They lived in my old neighborhood when I moved out of the Bronx.
Right. So I was like, this guy's got incredible. Then you jumped on the drums with us playing reggae, which you were not really saying you knew anything about reggae, but you knew the reggae beats like what, like you had learned it.
It was the only,
in a different
reggae I knew.
You learned the New York
Marley.
reggae beats. It was pretty funny. So, but I was really neat to hear that stuff because my dad came from the Lower East Side into Manhattan to Bloomfield.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like in the same regions, although it was like earlier, probably an earlier time in New York. And then the New York you saw was the New York that was burning. And like you were there for the blackout.
Yes.
You were there for the what was the guy the guy that was killing everybody? What was him? The New York
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
I bet you were. Yeah. Were you scared of the Son of Sam?
Oh, dude, we had people come by the club and shoot it up.
Oh my god!
The club was on 13th and 3rd. It's still there now. It's a bar on the main floor, and up above it it's an apartment building. So above it they rent out apartments. But within walking distance was the Ritz, was right around the block. The Palladium around the block the other way. 5 or 6 blocks down the road was Great Gildersleeves that the Hells Angels owned.
Crazy.
Big time bands would play there under aliases. I saw Jay Giles play in there under like a fake name in the middle of the afternoon. I saw the Police when they first came to New York City.
Crazy.
At the Ritz at an afternoon matinee that was only club people got invited.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty awesome.
How cool.
So yeah, but I met all these famous fucking people and had to keep an eye on them sometimes, and it really led to a lot of opportunities for me afterwards. But there was just too much drinking and drugging, so eventually I tapped out to get sobered up, for a while.
I bet it was wild. Yeah, that was a time period.
But it was it was incredible, dude. I went to work there. I weighed like 205 pounds and solid. When I left, I was like 165 pounds.
Oh Lord.
And pale.
Yeah.
Because you never saw daylight.
Yeah, not healthy.
You know what I mean? Sometimes at noon, we'd go to a studio or a music store or something. You'd try to do something. And then, you get home in the afternoon, practice on drums, go to sleep, get up at 1:32 in the morning.
Oh my
Take a cab into the city at 3:30. You know what I mean? Get in there, have a shot of bourbon and a couple of lines of coke, and get the night going.
And oh my God, wild times.
It was fucking crazy, bro. Andy Warhol, I can't tell you. I couldn't even name all the famous people that I met in there.
What did Andy Warhol look like?
Andy Warhol. So the guy, at one point, I was working the front door. And the guy I worked the front door with, his name was Mel. He used to play for the Redskins. 6'7" and about 320 pounds. And it was a little tiny cubbyhole doorway that you would come into. So as soon as you would come in, and there's a line outside the place, right? On limos and whatever, just street people. So when you would come in, I would hit you with the wand, which the metal detector wands that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I would hit you with that, and Mel would say, "Any drugs or weapons?" But he'd lean over them and say, "Any drugs or weapons?" And nobody would ever give their shit up unless they were from out of town. So if people came from Jersey, which happened a lot, they would come through. It was right outside, right near the Lincoln Tunnel. So they'd get fucked up in Jersey. All the bars closed at 2 or 3 or whatever up there, and they would drive into the city. You could tell they're out of their element because when Mel would lean over and say, "Any drugs or weapons?" They'd say, "Well, I have a knife and some cocaine." And he would say, "Well, give it here, and you can get that on the way out." And we would take the knife and the cocaine. We'd split the cocaine and let the guy have the knife when he left.
Oh my God.
So and then on their way in, I would say, "Hey, you guys from Jersey?" And they would go, "Yeah." "How did you know?" And I say, "I don't know, just guessing." And then Mel would laugh his ass off, because you could just spot them. You could tell them by the way they acted when they came through the door.
Oh,
So it was wild, bro. But I got to see everybody I met, all these famous people, and I had carte blanche for all of that shit. So that was an unbelievable, year and a half in my life that I wouldn't trade for the world, but it wasn't all pretty.
yeah, I can see
Yeah.
after many years of being there and then going to Florida, you had to come to Boone and maybe get some fresh air and try to. I can see why you
Boone
came up
changed
there.
my life. Boone got me sober. Boone changed my life. Boone got me sober. It's 20 years.
But we were so sober traveling with us. We're just like the most sober crew of all time.
No, I mean, no hard drugs. No hard drugs.
Yes, I'm saying. So it's easy traveling with us. So that's probably a good thing. And
other than it was brutal.
You went from all that to the pizza.
It was like
pizza parlors.
You can't even get high. You can't do anything but smoke weed. You drink now, same thing as now. I can't drink.
Yeah, it messes us up.
If I had to drink and try to do what we did, it would just no way.
When you get to like the fourth song,
I have a couple of,
and you start dragging, and you're like, I got 35 more songs to go, and you're like, I don't want to finish this show. That's why I cannot drink.
And you know what? The other thing, I will tell you another thing that I learned with the drinking. It changes your high-end hearing.
Oh yeah, you stop hearing. You stop like listening.
You stop hearing like the high end, and that's funny because my guitar player, and he had tons of experience too, also toured with a Southern rock band, and I've known him for 30 years from years ago when I toured with a Southern rock band. But he had told me that. He said, "Did you know?" He says, "That's why you should watch how much you drink." He said, "Did you know that the first thing that goes is that high end hearing?" I said, "You know what?" All of a sudden, it made sense to me. Yeah. Because I would drink, and later on in the show, I'm turning the treble up on the mixer because I run the sound next to the drums.
Yeah,
I get the mixer next to my kit. So I learned so much from you, and I'd learned how to handle myself on stage. I always like when I play a new place, I'm usually not nervous. But I know, I'll hit them with kind of my best stuff just to make sure and get a little feel for them, a pulse,
Yeah.
And I always remember the night that we played. It was in Tennessee. I think it was Knoxville. It was Bob Marley's birthday celebration.
That's cool.
Do you remember? Packed house, dance hall kind of place. Big place. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Knoxville.
I do remember.
Dude, someone ripped the fucking wristbands off of me. Remember it had that big elevated stage?
Yeah.
Anyway, we were in the green room. There was like 4 or 5 bands. We were in the green room, and the band that was on before us was a bunch of young kids. And they were doing a lot of oldies, like 50s and 60s shit, like in a reggae format. And they were killing it. We were in the green room. Remember they had the little speaker thing where you could hear it?
Oh, they had a full horn section. And they had a 12-piece band, and we had a 3-piece band. And we were on next. I was like, I cannot compete with these guys.
I said, what are we going to do? I said, what are we come out and play? And you came out and sang a cappella.
What else could I do? It was either go against a 12-piece.
You could hear a pin drop. I was bold. Gave everyone in the audience and everyone on stage, me and Heather, the shivers. I said, this motherfucker is crazy. And then we kicked into whatever the fucking... But you had immediately won them over. You know what I do? I play a VFW and Legion Halls and some of those kind of places. Sometimes there's a lot of old biker guys, and veterans and everything. So on those gigs, when we get there, the first thing I do is God Bless America. Acapella. Acapella.
There you go.
And that fucking place loves me from that point on, no matter what the fuck I play. And I always tell the story about you in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I forgot about
And,
that.
and let me tell you what, they rehire me every fucking year because you do that. First of all, it was my dad's favorite song when me and my brothers were kids on Saturdays. He'd come in, all charged up from working all night as a cop, on a like midnight to 8 and the fucking, 9 in the morning. He's like, all right, man, let's hit the deck. And he wants everyone up and hanging out with him. And he would always sing God Bless America, but he would sing, and he was a veteran, World War II. And he would sing it so passionately, he would always drool. And we would just laugh at him and say, okay, go away. So every time I sing it, I always think of my father singing it and drooling. So it makes me laugh and it makes me fucking happy. And so, the first time I tried it, I told the guys, I said, I'm going to fucking try it. And I had my headset on and I was on the outside part and there's like 300 motorcycle guys there. I start singing God Bless America on the outside where the band is. And they're all standing at attention now. Some of them are saluting and they're singing along. Then they had an inside part to the left of the band was like a screened in room, and there's a bar in there. So I go in there and I'm singing with the headset. Now they all stand up and they're fucking salute and they're singing along. Then I go into the main part, the main VFW bar, which has a big bar.
What a ham.
And I go in there singing the same thing. And as I open the doors, you can hear me singing through the PA. And that whole fucking place stands up. I go back out, I finish, and it's done.
You're commanding
From
attention.
that point on, you're going to have a great gig. They're fucking tipping me on the first song.
That is so funny.
I worked that tip job, bro.
You're better than me. I forget about the tip jar.
I bring my CDs for free. I bring an album for free. I make like 5 copies, and I put them up with a tip jar. And I'll do 1 or 2 of the original songs. Tell them it's on the CD. Come up and take one for free. They're so located right next to the tip jar. You conveniently notated, but it works, bro. Especially, I'll do a blues song with the headset on. I walk around with the harmonica, start playing the harmonica, going up to the tables and shit. The next thing, the fucking band loves it. They're like, you need to go out there, hustle up some money now. I'm like, okay, here I go. Did that when I was a kid. I learned how to play blow harp in the streets.
That's so
I used to do it when I was from my family. My family, I would play the harmonica, I would dance and do impersonations, and they would throw me money. And I was like, look at this.
You've always been a musical.
I'm 65. I'm still doing it.
Well, Job Pops, this has been an incredible conversation. We're getting into our 45-minute time period. So, man, I just want to thank you for all the good times I've had with you. All those years, like I think we did 8 years on the road, and it was magical. Wow. And only reason why we split up.
You know what? I am such a better musician now, because I got thousands of fucking shows under my belt with this fucking thing. And you know what happened when I had to learn how to sing all the time? It made me stop all that clowning around on the drums.
Yeah. And then when you got up front, you realized
these kids want to just make noise back there. They want to. You know what I mean? You got to accompany the music. You got to play the right. So it really taught me. So when my backup drum, when my sax guy, when I go up front and do my routine, so now I'm up front with the harp, and he's on the drums, and he fucking thinks, I'm playing a fucking blues song. I'm working the crowd. You're fucking playing, like Molly Hatchet or some shit back there,
Yeah.
Take it easy. Is that a fucking blues beat using double kick drums? What are you doing?
That's funny.
So
you got to get them back up.
So I became a great drummer. So I have to play with you. It's got to be it's on my bucket list.
We're coming down
for sure.
We'll come down and do a few shows with you.
Well,
soon.
if not, hopefully this grayscale thing happens later in the year. I think probably towards the end of the year things will get back to normal. I'll tell you what, I heard today, which is great news. They're actually vaccinating more people than are getting sick right now, which is the first time that's happened. And they're up to like 32 million people vaccinated. So I think they're going to do a real good job on getting that done and getting some money into people's hands.
I
And
truly
I
hope we
think in
kick
6 months from now, it's going to be a big difference. And
Yeah.
when that opens up, hopefully you're going to be booked out the ass, and so will I. And we have to make sure that we see each other.
Well, that's what this is all
because-
about. I'm going to get prepared this time and not miss coming down to Florida. The last, we had a crazy couple years.
Well, I have an extra room here.
Great.
So I can give you my room, and I'll take the extra room, and then I have my studio, which is where my drums and another PA and shit in there, my computer for making CDs for the shows. But I have a futon out there that a couch futon thing that he lays down. So
come crash it pops.
If you did want to work through here, I'm driving distance from. You could play Orlando. You could play up north of here. What is it? Ocala. What's up north past that? There's another college town up there.
Oh, we'll be doing it.
And then St. Pete.
Oh yeah.
St. Pete and Tampa is less than an hour.
Yeah, it's a great
St. Pete Beach is about an hour. Tampa is 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So you could definitely make runs out of here, and there's a lot of places. It's just right now, yeah.
Well, I'm going to spend a good year here just developing.
It might be 2020. It might be 2022 before we're able to have you down here.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some time here.
Whatever it is, bro. I'm in Pasco County. I'm a little north of Tampa and St. Pete on the Gulf Coast side.
Nice.
So you got a huge area here. You can float out of the house. It's safe, as far as your gear and the van and everything. I'm in a country area.
And your band is a Pappa Crawdaddy band, right?
I have an RV that I'm going to be renting out come April.
Oh, nice.
But that was my idea because I couldn't fucking hustle any money anymore playing.
Yeah.
So let me invest. So I bought an RV, and I have a great friend who's coming down in March who's going to rent it.
Cool.
But a year from now it might be open. You never know. But either way, there's room enough in my house for your small ensemble, bro.
Yeah. We've had a heavy time now, so we're just going to regroup and get. I'm trying to get the rest of the nation to kind of know the music, because I've been kind of stuck in the one little area here, and everyone knows the music here. But my goal right now is just get everybody to know the music. So. And just connect, network.
YouTube is great.
Yeah, I got a great family here. So my main thing is just getting back with everybody. That's why I contacted you today, and all the insights you've given us throughout the years, and all the years has been awesome. The only reason why we separated is because I had to move down to the coast and get away from the mountains and get on the road here. So, and you were going to stay up there.
Yeah.
So, then you came down to Florida, and so now we're both.
Because that changed. I did. That the mountains changed my life. You know what I mean? So I felt kind of.
Oh, I understand.
And then I was worried. I was worried of what am I going to do if I don't give my place up. The finances. So
you needed to get down to Florida where your family was.
My back was killing me for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Physically, it was getting hard to.
SELAH Dubb tour can wreck you. So I'm just holding it down before I go back out on the road, and we'll be down there soon. And my main insight for you is just to send some love and some vibes to you, and hopefully see you again. But I want to start connecting more and more with you here on the Dubbcast, because you got 1,000 stories. So we're gonna have you on here soon on a regular basis. I want to get you to get your thing going. You need to get a little podcast going. My main thing is, what is your band is Pappa Crawdaddy, and how can people check you out?
Pappa Crawdaddy band. It's Pappa Crawdaddy and the Bronx Mafia, and our site is pappacrawdaddy.com, and also on Facebook under Pappa Crawdaddy band. But right now I'm on a 30-day lockout Like I was explaining to you.
Yes,
I'm
we've
being
all had that
censored.
experience lately. What's going on with that?
I'm being censored because I use an app called My Talking Pet.
Oh Lord.
So I've been making ads for my gigs with either my dog speaking or my cat speaking
Now your cat
in
can't
a
speak
high
for you.
in a high pitched voice, and they're cute as hell. And it's the best response I've gotten to any ads I've ever run on Facebook. And I've been doing this for a couple of months now. Anyway, my last one that I ran somehow was very offensive. And I just get kicked off for 30 days. And I got so annoyed. I was so pissed. You should have seen the letter I sent them. They don't read it anyway. It's all fucking hardly any people.
It's bots.
So I deactivated my account, but normally I'm on Facebook. But Papa Crawdaddy was on Reverb Nation and Papa Crawdaddy Band. Or you can just Google Papa Crawdaddy. You'll find us.
Cool.
For sure.
Everybody in the St. Pete area.
We're back working. We're doing the Sunday Blues at the Gildogs Event Center down here once a month. And we got some bookings for March, April, May, and June. Not a whole bunch, but I have a whole lot of places that are just on standby right now. And hopefully we're all going to be busy midway through next year. I hope for you too. And I'm just happy that you're okay. You're healthy.
Yes.
You got the house straightened out as well. And
yes.
the skin cancer. I mean, God, you've been through a lot, and you're a fucking healthy guy.
I know. I almost died. I'm good. I made it.
Well, hey. You know what they say. Now everyone in my band tells me, you know what? They go. I keep going like, okay, I want to finish the CD. I says, all my people I know are dying. My brother just died. I says, I got to make sure. I create my legacy before I die. They said, you're so full of shit. They said, you're going to be 75, having a fucking bourbon and a cigarette, still playing gigs. You're one of those motherfuckers. I said, I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I hope you're right.
105.
So, yeah, I feel great, man. Even now, I've just been playing the last couple of weeks, a gig per weekend. We're just getting back into playing shape and held up real well. I did good. And I love the new lineup that I have. So if you're in Florida, look us up. Or become friends with us online at PappaCrawdaddy.com.
Papa Crawdaddy.
Thank you. Thank you for the plug, by the way. I appreciate it.
Well, that's what we do here. And we want you to get the Papa Crawdaddy podcast going soon. I'm going to get you on this podcast so much as you're going to have your own Papa Crawdaddy podcast. So right here on the SELAH Dubbcast.
That would be funny.
So anyways, we want to thank you.
We
want to thank you so much for all the love and support and all the good vibes. You always have the super positive vibes. You have the biggest heart in the world. You have like that New York heart, that New York Greek, Mediterranean, all-American vibe. And we love you so much, Pops. You have taught me so much throughout the years, and you will always be close family to me and everybody around here. Baby Beats says hey, and we are looking forward to talking to you again. And
that's wonderful.
Want you to send us out.
Well, I feel the same way. Thank you so much. I feel the same way at any time.
Where's your harmonica? Where's your harmonica?
Oh, my gig's in my truck, bro.
I thought you could send us out with a little tune.
No, I don't have. I will next time. I promise.
All right. Well, this week we are on this month we are on a kick here. So I want you to think about this and come back with me with a comment soon on the next Dubbcast. But here's the deal.
Okay.
There's this guy. His name is Martin Vane Summers, and his concept is that there are other civilizations in the galaxy and across the universe. Now, whether you believe this or not, that doesn't matter. But just think about this concept.
I do.
Think about the concept of the Earth representing all of humanity as a one, instead of all these different countries that are fighting against each other, taking each other's resources. How are we going to talk to other civilizations when we need to represent ourselves? How are we going to represent one humanity? Because what this guy talks about is that other places in the universe are not near as filled with resources as we have here. Most of these places are very barren, and they want to come get our resources by not using force, but just by manipulating us. So that sounds crazy. Is it true? Who knows? But the main thing is, how is humanity going to come together, represent ourselves as one, and go into the next millennia being more conscious about how we save our planet and leave a better planet for the future? And how are we going to represent the Earth as we go into the galaxy? So you think about that for a while. Next time I talk to you, we're going to have a long discussion about it.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Go ahead.
When I was traveling, after I left SELAH, it was before I started Papa Crawdaddy, but me and Shane, who I met from the Lost Ridge Bluegrass band that I played with up there. Anyway, we were working as a rhythm section, and we were going back and forth to New York. We played at Sundance Film Festival, yada, yada. But this was when was the Mayan calendar scare thing? December 23rd. Was that 2013?
12.
So it was 2013. But we spent so much time driving on the road. His concept was, which I always believed made sense, was that, it's a new beginning, it's a new awakening, it's a new consciousness.
Yes,
is the new world, and I thought that made sense, and really, ever since then, I feel totally different. My vibe.
Well, they call it the Kali Yuga in the Hindu language. In the Hindu religion, the Kali Yuga lasts 12,000 years, and it's going to be ending in the next 5 years. So I think we're coming to the end of a Kali Yuga, of a crazy time of materialism, strife, and human calamity. And hopefully we'll be getting beyond that in the next 100 years and learn as a human species to represent Earth. So that's like the concept.
Well, that's why I say, here's the thing. If human beings have a choice to either work together or go extinct.
Baby Beats. Wait a minute. Baby Beats is on the show. She is on here talking to us right now. She's on. She just
wrote me a message. You go talk to her.
She just wrote me a message. She just said hi to you.
I can't hear her.
She can't hear you. She's just writing messages right here on the YouTube.
Okay.
We love Beats. Hi, Baby Beats.
Hello.
We love you. Yes, she is checking in and listening to you talk, Pops. Pops, we love you so much. We are getting into 1 hour, and I just want to thank you so much for coming on the Dubbcast. I could just talk to you all day like we're on the phone, but we better realize that we're on a show right now.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah, we love you, man. Your family. I've just been.
I went up there to visit Heather a few years ago, and you were out of town.
I was almost dead.
I could not believe it. Remember, I think I told you.
I was doing shows, and I was half dead, and I was so messed up and gone. So
well, it doesn't matter. I think it means that when I do see you, it's going to be a bigger deal.
Yeah, it will be. So
we'll make it happen.
Heather just said she's dreaming of those.
You're on my bucket list.
She's dreaming of those dolls, Pops, at the Brass Pelican. The dolls at the Brass Pelican. I can't remember the dolls at the Brass Pelican. Dreaming of those dolls.
Mm-hmm.
The PBRs at the Brass Pelican. Oh, y'all got drunk or something one night at one of the shows. Anyways, we're gonna sign off here on the Dubbcast, and big love and unity from the Dubb. Thank you so much. This is Pops here. You can check him out at the Papa Crawdaddy band. Google his name if you are in the St. Pete area in the Florida area.
PapaCrawdaddy.com.
PapaCrawdaddy.com. And he has got a giant blues orchestra, and he will rock your mind. So do not miss him when he comes to town, and we will keep you posted. We're going to have him on once a month for sure. So big love and unity from the Dubb. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. This is the Dubbcast. Pops, stay on with me for a second. I'll talk to you in just a minute. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. On the second half of the show, we'll have the Acousticast with some special music. So stay tuned. Big love and unity from the Dubb. Thank you so much, brother.
I had a great time.
Yes, indeed.
I'm baked. You know, I took my indica cookie about 2 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago. So I'm just smoking a fatty. And